Alright, so apparently we got some storms moving through. I've been busy all day, so I haven't been able to keep track of what's going on with the weather, but wow, there's a lot. Weather changes pretty quick in this type of climate. We have temperatures in the 90s with dew points in the 70s. Like, this is the prime atmosphere for some severe weather, so welcome to my one viewer that is on this stream. I'm going, welcome to another viewer, and we are going to get started just diving right in with the potential for severe weather that we're seeing already going through right now. We're going to go right to the radar because there's stuff happening as we speak. So if we go to this radar station here, I'm going to zoom in on Lansing. Lansing is getting hit by the severe thunderstorms that just moved through Grand Rapids, Kent County, Ionia, all these different places. You're getting wind gusts of, if I can, about 50 miles per hour based on the current map. So it's not the most intense winds, but it is definitely enough to prompt a warning. So that's already moved through. What's back here is what's of new concern. I'm going to go to the actual reflectivity so you can see what the radar actually looks like. Got a nice solid line of storms starting to develop and intensify across southwest Michigan. And look back in Illinois. There's a very powerful line of strong to severe thunderstorms moving through Illinois right now. And these radar outputs are saying that this storm is producing wind gusts of up to 80 miles per hour. So this is a very strong thunderstorm. These severe thunderstorm warnings have expired on it since then, but there's reports coming in from spotters, from MPing. Trees are uprooted or snapped. There's a roof's been blown off. This is all the result. Honestly, the main reason these storms are surviving is because of the heat and humidity, solely because of that. So what I'm hoping is that as the sun starts to set, which is setting at about 8:30 tonight, we'll see these storms start to weaken and die out. It's really the heat and the humidity that's driving these storms. In Iowa and Illinois, there's a little bit more driving the severe thunderstorms than just the heat and humidity, but in Michigan, that's really the main thing that's going to keep these storms alive is the heat and the humidity. So that's going to be the main thing you want to keep track on. Forgive me, I'm eating dinner. It's been really busy. But, yeah, on my current location, there's kind of a small little cell starting to develop. Let me actually zoom in on my location here. Pick the correct radar. That's better. Alright, so we've got a nice little cell that's intensifying right here. Pretty much separate cells all along just this line that's been continuing across pretty much Minnesota ever since last night. So this is a very long-lasting line of cells. I wouldn't say it was a derecho because it hasn't lasted. This part of it might be considered a derecho because this has been continuing across Minnesota throughout the entire day today. So this is actually pushing towards Canada. So places like London and Canada, those places will see some storms. This is starting to push off to the southeast. So areas such as Valparaiso, and then places down to the south of that, anywhere around here could start seeing some severe weather within the next few hours if the storms tend to hold together. These storms, honestly, they could continue as far south as maybe even Cedarville. Wouldn't be surprised if these storms made it to Cedarville. The heat and humidity is just a massive plume up from the southwest going all the way across. So these storms can just take off and just continue. So, yeah, let me take a look at the velocity on these storms here, because these are the storms that will be directly impacting these 9 counties here. So I will change it to the velocity map real quick so we can take a look at that. Wind values that's putting out aren't really extremely strong. If we were to check, 36 miles an hour is not something that could prompt a warning or anything like that. These storms aren't really putting out a ton of wind according to the latest output. So that's good news. We might just see some heavy thunderstorms through the evening, which is what I expect. what I expected to move through. They weren't really expecting storms to reach severe levels today, given that we do have heat and humidity, but we don't necessarily have the we don't have the wind, shear, and things like that. That could really put out stronger storms today. But we did have the chance of some storms, and looks like that 30% chance we had today is now a pretty much 80 to 90% chance. So pretty much everywhere across southwest Michigan is going to see some rain tonight, I think. And welcoming too, because we haven't had rain for a few days. I'm sure farmers are looking for it. So, yep, they are pretty strong, and I wouldn't be surprised if they could intensify as they approach land. Because right now over the lake, they don't really have they have a little bit less heat to work with, but as they get back on land, they'll start to re-intensify, as long as the sun's out. So, just a quick update. That's all I really wanted to show you. These storms have already moved through the northern areas of Michigan, so as far as that goes, that's all taken care of. If you have a question, you can pop it in the chat, but pretty much the storms aren't as strong as the storms we definitely saw 2 weeks ago. Those were way more intense. So I'll show you the severe weather risk we have for today. They've also said that they're unlikely to issue a watch, just given the fact that we do have heat and humidity present, but not as much of a sustainable atmosphere for severe weather as places, say, off to the west, like Illinois and Iowa. Those places are seeing some pretty intense thunderstorms. So that's why there's a slight risk area. They did push the slight risk area out just a little bit into western Michigan and northwestern Indiana. So that's going to be, the threat of a tornado is 2%. Pretty much all severe hazards have been given a potential possibility here, but the chance of it is low, pretty much. But given the heat and humidity, anything can happen. Let's take a look at a quick future track. I'll pull that up for you. See what the models are saying this is going to do. This right here is see, about those models. They say there's nothing supposed to be here right now. So that changes things a little bit. Yeah, I don't think this model is going to help us today. This is interesting. The models even aren't helping. We just have such an unstable atmosphere, anything can happen. Even models are going to struggle. Let's try and take a look at what, instead of a model conglomerate, let's do just one model in itself through Pivotal Weather. And I think the HRR will be the way to go here. To see what they're saying. This gives us a more present idea of what's going on. So I'm going to go to the regional map. Alright, so this is what our radar looks like right now. You have the cluster, the line of storms. You have the large clusters that are producing severe weather. Let's take a look at a sounding and see what they're potentially forecasting. Not really any severe hazards. Again, the conditions aren't really extremely favorable for severe weather as they are back here. They're also saying that there's not really severe weather hazard, but let's see what happens if we push it a couple hours. So the storms tend to stay a little bit off to the west of us. They're going to start pushing a little bit more southward. And then as we get to near nighttime, yeah, they start to die out, it appears. Yep. So yeah, like I said, as we lose the heat from the sunshine that we're getting today, these storms should begin to die out overnight tonight, with another threat of some more thunderstorms developing tomorrow as the sun comes back up. So very unpredictable air mass that we're in right now. A lot can happen. We're definitely going to see a threat for showers and thunderstorms throughout the week. So I'll continue to keep you updated as much as I can, so long as these storms continue to just randomly develop and push through. And storms that develop usually will come in larger clusters like this, just because they'll form lines. So what happens in these types of thunderstorms is you get a group of cells together, and what happens is as these cells move through, the rain will send the temperature down. And when the rain sends the temperature down, underneath the storm, the air behind it, the cold air behind it, will push into the warm air in front. So as the rain cools the air on the backside of the storm, the cold air will push forward because the warm air will be rising into the storm, and the cold air will push underneath it. And that's what gives you those strong winds and the severe thunderstorms that take place. So that's kind of the big issue with these storms, is why these storms are more strong than normal, is because you just have such high heat and humidity. So, yeah. Alright, so I'm going to sign off now. Hopefully